welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'd also like to welcome back my subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. In today's video, I'm going to take you step by step on how I got this easy look. I'm also going to talk about love. I'm going to talk about self-love, Valentine's Day, as well as dating in 2021. So if you're interested, keep watching. All right, so let's get started. And before we do, a couple things. Do not judge my nails. My nails look very raggedy right now, but I am going on a trip in a few days. Actually, when this is posted, I will be at my destination. So I'm trying to hold off as long as I can to get my gel manicure till right before. I'm sure some of you are just like me, so I'm looking a little crazy right now, but that's okay. Also, I am going on about 5 hours of sleep. As you can see from these bags that are forming under my eyes, my dog, Puppy, really, has kept me up all night last night, and especially the last few days. He has been barking incessantly, and it's really interrupting my sleep. So I'm hoping to get some rest tonight. And lastly, your girl's having a little bit of a problem here. I don't know if you guys can really see it. I don't break out, maybe a pimple here or there, but for the past 3 weeks, this little area has become an issue for me. I don't know if it's hormonal. I don't really know what's going on. I've tried Windex trick. I've tried the toothpaste trick. Nothing seems to be working. So if you have any tips, put them in the comments for me. All right, so I've already applied my moisturizer off camera. Now I'm going to apply my Becca Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector. Geez, that's a tongue twister, but it's basically my primer that I put on before any application. So I'm gonna go ahead, put a little bit in my fingertips and just rub it on. I am gonna be looking down a little bit because I do have a mirror there. But just make sure you rub it all over your face. I definitely encourage using a primer before you're putting on any foundation. It's definitely gonna help. Especially I have big pores, so this helps to close those pores and just helps to create a smooth kind of palette for applications. I'm sure it looks a little crazy right now, but that's fine. One tip I have for anybody that has normal to oily skin is I put a layer of setting powder over my primer and underneath my foundation. I just use either a blender, or I use, I call these like puff puffs. I don't really know what they're called, but I just basically, I'll show you. I just dab and spread and smear it all over my face. So something like this. And the idea is for, again, if you have normal to oily skin, it's just gonna help kind of absorb some of that extra oil that you might collect throughout the day. And that's it. And then you are ready for your foundation. Today I'm using one of my favorites, Makeup Forever Ultra HD in R520. So I simply just put a few pumps on my hand. Today I'm going to use a brush. I'm actually using NYX Professional. I actually really like this one. And then you just start applying. I like to dab first and kind of put them all around, and then I go in and blend. So yeah, as I'm blending, let's get into the conversation about love. As we all know, it is February. Not only is it the month of love, they say. For those of you who don't know, it is also Black History Month, so definitely want to recognize that. But as it pertains to love, I know it can be sometimes like a sensitive, sore subject for some of us single men and women. You want to make sure you get down to your neck as well when you do this, so that, and near your ears, I'd like to make sure. But how do you guys feel about Valentine's Day? Like, is it a big deal to you? Is it overrated? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. So to me, I guess I don't really care. It's personally, there you go, just want to make sure. But I know I kind of feel like it is a little bit overrated. I do feel like to show someone your love is not just one day of the year. It should be maybe not 365 days of the year, but far more than just one day, you know? And I don't know if I'm saying that just because I am single, but that's just truly how I feel. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. All right, so we have the foundation on, everything looks smooth. Next step is the concealer. So I use Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Amande. This is literally one of my go-tos. And what I like to do is do basically upside down triangles underneath my eyes. So I just kind of do this. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. And I do the same on both sides. And try to get close into the tear duct as well. And anything left, I kind of put down on my nose. Maybe get a little bit actually more. You can tell when you're running low when it's like white, because that means there's not a lot left in here. So I definitely need to get a new one. And then whatever left is there. And what I like to do, one tip, is let it sit for a few seconds and then use a damp sponge. I use a beauty blender, but just dampen it. So put it under water, squeeze it, and then apply it in a few moments. So while it's setting, back to love. So, I mean, of course we all want love to some degree, but I also think Valentine's Day, you can have girlfriends, galentines, you have your family, you have friends. I think also you have yourself, self-love. I know I'm on a journey. I've been on a journey for a little while of really working on myself, you know, having fun by myself and all that. And so self-love is part of that for me. And you can do something on your own. Go get a massage, take a bath, read a book, light some candles, make dinner for yourself, dress up for yourself, you know, put makeup on for yourself, whatever the case might be. I don't think we encourage that as much on Valentine's Day because we're always talking about love in a romantic way. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. And so that's just my tip, especially if you want to overall improve your self-love. I think doing things for yourself is most important. And why not on Valentine's Day? So now that it's been sitting for a little bit, beauty blender, it is damp already. And I just go in and dab, dab, dab. You don't want to drag, you just want to dab, dab. So yeah, that's just my opinion personally. I just think it's too much for one day. And then what happens the next day? It's like back to normal. I don't know. But I also just think this is the time as we get older, I'm 33 now, to really focus on myself so that I can be ready for the right partner when that person comes. And my self-love, I can't love someone else before I can truly love myself. All right. So I'm just going to continue dabbing all of this. Yeah, and let me know what you guys have done for yourself in the past, or not even just this month or for Valentine's Day, but what are some things that you do for self-love? I've started to really encourage myself, like after I've gone for a run, I say, I'm proud of you, or you did a good job, like days when I don't want to do anything active. So it's just like uplifting and rooting for yourself is really, for me, what self-love is, and embracing my imperfect perfections and loving myself. Okay, so now that we have our concealer in place, we want to make sure it stays in place for however long you decide to wear your makeup. So you need a setting powder. It doesn't matter what kind, you just need some sort of setting powder. I use specifically Fenty Beauty or Sasha Buttercup. Fenty Beauty is in cashew and Sasha is Buttercup. But also going to either need another sponge. I like this one because it has a sharp pointer so you can really get into the tear ducts, or you can use I think they're called like puffs. This is Laura Mercier. I'll link it below. I'm gonna use the blender for this one. So what you do, you really don't need a lot, just a little bit on there, enough product, and then you want to dab any excess on the top, and then you're just going to basically apply anywhere that you have concealer. Oh yeah, and one more thing when we were talking about self-love, another thing that I started doing last year for myself was meditation. I will say that I have kind of slacked off a little bit, and I was doing it, especially during lockdown, I was doing it every day, and it made me feel so good, so ready for the day, connected with myself. So something to try. I know it's definitely not easy, but something to just consider. Now with the setting powder, you don't need to keep it on too long, because the first time I did that, or the first few times, I was taking pictures and it was like this big, bright, like light in the areas that had concealer, and it just was not cute. So I'm very aware that you need to remove it pretty quickly. I'm just using this specific brush. It was from Sephora, and I'm essentially just gonna go in. I get a little aggressive, so don't worry, because I just wanna make sure like there's nothing left. And yeah, you're just gonna keep doing that. So perfect. And then there you have it. So now Next, I'm going to actually do my eyebrows. I'm gonna do them off camera just because it's gonna take a little while. Okay, I am back. Eyebrows are done. I used all Anastasia Beverly Hills products. If you were wondering, I will leave all the information in the description box below. Moving on to eyes, I'm gonna keep it very simple. In fact, I'm using one product and it's not even a traditional eyeshadow. In fact, I'm going to be using a highlighter, specifically a cheek highlighter. For a eyeshadow primer today, I'm going to be using a concealer. Now, one, it's important that you put some sort of eyeshadow primer on. Doesn't really matter what it is. And yes, I've said concealer, that is an option as well. So I'm gonna use the exact same one that I used for my under eyes earlier and just apply a little bit on each lid and then rub it in. So I know we've talked about self-love. We've also talked about romantic love. I'm curious for those singles out there, how has dating been? For me, I've tried the dating apps. It's definitely a hit or miss, to the point where I'm just like, I'm over it. And maybe at some point I'll tap back into them, but it's hard though. I truly feel like it's really hard. I even considered getting a matchmaker. Has anybody used a matchmaker? If so, a good one, let me know in the comments, because I kind of want to talk to one, because at this point, it's not working for me on my own. And so if I want to, you know, find a potential partner, I feel like maybe a matchmaker could help with qualifying these men, because everybody and their mama is on the dating apps. So anyways, moving on. So I have put the primers on, as you can see. Now I'm gonna go back in with that topaz highlighter and just use my ring finger, honestly, and just put a little on each eyelid, keeping it very, very simple. But I think the beauty of this too, it's so simple, but it's like a pop. And I think it's great if you're trying not to do too much, but you also want to look like you've done enough. Okay. You can put as much or as little as you want to, depending on how dramatic or drastic you want to get, but I think that's fine. So for me, I think it gives me a little bit of pop to my face. And next I am going to apply my mascara. The first thing I like to do is put an eyelash primer. My favorite right now is Smashbox Photo Finish Lash Primer. So I'm just gonna go right in and put the primer on. And it looks exactly like a regular mascara wand, except it goes on white and then dries clear. Now you want to let it dry for a few seconds. So what I typically do is just move on to my cheeks and my highlighter. So for my cheeks, today I'm using two different ones. I'm using MAC Raisin, one of my all-time favorites. I honestly don't even know if they still make this one. And then also Nars Seduction. Make sure, sometimes they always say you can smile. Personally, either works for me. But yeah. And then I just switch, go into the other one. I think I put a little too much. The good thing about makeup is that you can easily wipe it off. So I just take another brush and like, just kind of blend it out. Some people like a lot, just depends. I have a heavy hand sometimes too. And then while that's still drying just for a few more seconds, I'm gonna go right in quickly with my highlighter. So again, I'm using that topaz that I have on my eyelids, and I'm just gonna go in and add a little highlighter. I also like to put it down my nose. And then we're gonna go and I'm gonna use Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift. I'm typically though, like I get eyelash extensions. I'm actually gonna be doing that before my trip. But when I don't have eyelash extensions, I do like the look of like long and full. And I want to do the bottom as well. I'm going to do it off camera because I have to get in really close, but I will be right back. All right, guys, this is the final look. I hope you liked it. Super casual, yet cute at the same time. If you found value in this video and liked the conversation about love, please click that subscribe button. As well, happy Valentine's Day and love month to everyone, whether you have a romantic partner or you have a group of girlfriends, or you are by yourself and loving yourself. All is great. Love is love. And until next time.